Hi, everybody. It's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching. And one of the most fundamental questions that we get is, when do you know where you're at when you coach people? How do you know they're progressing? How do you know when to fire people is a question I get all the time. We teach something at Progress Coaching that really compartmentalizes the stages of development. When we're coaching someone, we first have to have an awareness conversation. The goal of the awareness conversation is certainly to build awareness, but also to plant a seed. And ultimately, the person you're coaching decides if that seed's going to grow. One of the fundamental mistakes we all make as coaches is sometimes we want things for other people they don't want for themselves. So when we have an awareness conversation, the objective is not to convince them that they have a bad attitude, or to convince them they can become a better customer service rep, or to convince them they don't handle price objections well if they happen to be a salesperson. The goal is to build awareness. And then number two is to schedule your next sessions. So the goal is to actually build awareness and then develop a relationship. It is not to convince them or to get into an argument. Once you have the awareness conversation, you go into what is called the effort stage. Now this seems simple, right? But let's think about effort for a second. Remember when kids would play Little League and there always would be that overbearing father who would yell at his kid? Did that kid ever look like he wanted to get back into the batter's box? Now I know what you probably are thinking. Wait a minute, this has nothing to do with the corporate world. Really? What happens in corporate America when we ask people to come into our office and we shut the door? What's the employee's first impression? It's usually what? Uh-oh, what did I do wrong? Because we condition that behavior. So what we need to do when we're coaching is, after the awareness stage, is have a conversation, facilitate activities, but ultimately look for the employee's willingness to produce, willingness and their effort to get better. Where there's effort, it will lead into the next stage. The next stage is the progress stage. Are they showing tangible, visible, observable improvement and stages of improvement? So let's take someone with a negative attitude. Let's say in the effort stage, they're trying to become better teammates. They're listening more. Maybe even they're a little bit more considerate. They're trying. They're still not doing it that great. What we tend to do is jump right to results and say, you still have a bad attitude. You got to cut it out. And it's counterproductive. So typically we look for effort and then we look for progress. Now the progress in this scenario could be a person being more congenial, more upbeat, more positive during staff meetings. And maybe it doesn't even look like they're producing much effort. Maybe it's becoming natural. So we as coaches have to be trained to look for these things. Are they producing effort? Are you recognizing and sustaining progress? Then we move into the last stage, results. Predictable, sustainable results. Let me give you another rough example. Let's take a salesperson who's at 85% of goal and they don't handle competitor price objections well. What a typical sales leader does is they sit down and say, Jack, you got to overcome those price objections. We need you at 100%. Man, that's brilliant. And what happens is we don't tell them how. We don't practice with them. And by the way, we also tell them to be confident. Those things don't magically happen because we demand them. And what happens is we skip the stages of effort and progress. We even skip the awareness stage. And we go right to, I need results by tomorrow morning. If it were that easy, every sales team would be hitting 100% of goal. Now, taking this scenario, what if we sat down, had an awareness conversation, and what if the sales rep was really making an effort to get better at handling competitor price objections, and they're practicing? Here's the cool thing. During the effort stage, only provide positive feedback. During the progress stage, recognize it, but also provide revelations of where you still have opportunities to improve. Then they will move in a direction, through practice, through effort, through positive reinforcement, sustainable, predictable results. By simply demanding someone get better at something, even if they were for whatever reason, it won't sustain itself. So remember, there are 4 stages when coaching. First, the awareness stage, then the effort stage, then the progress stage, then the results stage. I hope this has helped. Let me know your thoughts.